What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson, MoneyBass.com. All right. So here we go. So this is what I had on, guys. This is what I had on. I was in here, doing a little, getting some things set up, moving this over here, moving this over there. And I know you guys were wondering, how can I get some of those? What is that Money Bass has on? And how can I get those with the Money Bass discount? Well, of course, you got to use the Money Bass discount code. Money Bass on everything, guys. All right. So as you come into the live stream, please drop a 1 in the chat. Want to make sure you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. See, that's what we got to do, these sound checks. And also, if you could, go ahead and hit that like button on the way in. We're going to get right into it tonight, guys. I know you have seen the thumbnail and the title of tonight's video. So we're going to be talking about the advancements in electronics, AI, and, just adding technology into this whole fishing world. And how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts on that? And of course, make sure you guys get active in the chat. You never know who is watching. The live streams always build off of the chat and the participation. We will also be doing some polls, and those polls are to gauge the room, guys. So like I said, we're going to have a very interactive live stream. So I will be dropping the call in link. So once we go over a few video, a few video clips that I have that I'll be showing, then I will drop the call in link. If you want to come up, just click that link. Make sure you are cammed up and I will bring you up. We can talk about your thoughts and opinions on some of the things that are going on with all of this technology. All right, so first, let me just head over here and make sure that the Facebook crew is up and running, guys. So just bear with me. Like I said, this is a live show. And we just want to make sure we get things off to the right kind of start, not the start that we started that we had just a few minutes ago. All right, so just bear with me, guys. All right, so there we go. And let me check one more thing over here. All right, there we go. So shout out to the Facebook crew. You guys are live and in action. All right, so tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about advancements in technology. So let me just pull this screen up real quick so I can share some information so you guys can see what I can see. How about that? All right, let's see. All right, so to the stage, does anybody know who this young fellow is right here? Anybody in the chat? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Does anybody know who this person is right here? Anybody? Somebody? All right, let's see. What are you guys talking about in here? All right, there we go. That is John B from John B Fishing. I see somebody dropped Rob in the chat, but no, he is a member of the Guggen Squad, John B. And basically, not too long ago, he put out a video where they have some Apple Vision Pro goggles that have come out. And it appears you can sync those to your electronics. So now you don't have to get all of those neck cramps and everything that everybody's always talking about. I don't want to see the back of their heads, but guess what? You don't have to. Now you don't have to see the back of their heads looking down at some screens. You can see the back of their heads looking around, watching them catch fish on the big screen. But I guess the big screen is even smaller now because it's inside of their goggles. You won't be able to see it. All right, so what we're going to do is take a look at a few clips from this video that he put out, just so you can get an idea for people who have not seen it of this advancement in technology, once again, that is coming out. And I mean, I think it has some pros and some cons with it. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get the first poll started. And for anybody that is watching the live stream on the replay, we get together every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. These live streams are always best when you catch them live. So that way you can participate in the live chat. The live chat is another activity, another thing on its own, guys. So this is one of the best chats on YouTube, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. The other thing, it will allow you to participate in the poll. So we do polls to kind of gauge the room throughout the show. So the first poll question is going to be, does anybody already have the Apple Vision Pro goggles? Do you have Apple Vision? Just bear with me, guys. Like I said, this is a live show. All right. Do you have the Apple Vision Pro goggles? All right. And we keep these polls nice and simple. So we'll go with a yes. And we will go with a no. I'm still laughing at the intro to this live stream, guys. All right. So that poll is live and in action. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is 0% that actually have these, because I'll show you guys the price, how to set these up, and all of that good stuff, guys. So we're going to definitely get into it. So that poll is up and running. Make sure you participate in the poll, guys. And let's check my likes. These likes are looking good. We'll go ahead and click the play. Okay, likes are looking okay. They're looking okay. Can I get about 5 more likes, guys? Can I get 5 more likes? That's all I need, just 5 more likes. It really does help the channel, helps push things out so we can get a lot of participation on these topics that we're talking about. All right, so now let me just get this queued up, and we're going to take a look at a few of these clips. Once we do that, I will drop the call-in link, guys. So let's just take a listen and see what he had to say about this first clip. All right, here we go, guys.
Hey Siri, give me directions to Walter E. Long boat ramp. Almost there. Next step is out of that.
All right, so take a look at the screen, guys. So he is currently driving a vehicle, and he is able to see where he is driving. But I mean, it does have a, you know, that map that he had up there did kind of cover up and hinder his vision a little bit. But just look, now he has access to the various options on the phone. So he can pretty much move his hands around. I kind of remember, I don't know if you guys remember Star Trek or what kind of space movies you guys used to watch, but that was one of the features. I think even in one of the Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible shows where they're, you know, they're moving around, and, you know, it's like an imaginary screen. So that's kind of what he's doing right here. So yeah, so make sure you guys get active in the chat and the poll. That poll is active, and let's just take a look again and just watch what he's doing here.
Hey Siri, can you show me a video on how to launch a boat?
All right, so he is actually able to talk to this because I believe it is, yeah, it's actually linked through his phone. So he's using Siri on his phone to visually be able to see what is being put out on the goggles. So let's see. Let's see.
Hey Siri, can you show me a Hey Siri, can you show me a different video of a guy launching a boat?
You got to cut to the right.
No, it's counter.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty cool. So he's sitting here talking, having a conversation, still able to see what is actually happening along with the video and things that the phone is putting up. So I just wanted to show you guys that so you can get an idea of how this technology, you know, will look. And let's see. Let me just skip to this next part, and now let's take a look at another benefit to having these goggles. But yeah, I'm going to be looking in the chat in just a minute to see what you guys think about it. All right, so now take a look. He's driving the boat, and he is actually using his mapping while he's running the boat. So did you guys see that view? All right, so look at this part right here. So he's driving and he's looking around like this. So I don't know if he's doing a little bit of acting right here or what he's doing, but I mean, let's just keep looking. All right, so there we go. So there's another view of the screen. So right here, you can see the options. You can see his mapping on the screen. So basically, he is able to say, set the mapping over here to the left. So as he's looking to the right and everything, he doesn't see it. But when he wants to look at his mapping, he just turns and it stays in that location until he takes it and moves it to another location. So that's basically what you'll see him doing, is just kind of moving things around on the screen. All right, so let's see. I see you guys getting active in the chat. I'll be in the chat in just a second so that we can take a look and start getting some feedback from what you guys think. All right, so let's see. All right, let's go ahead and just take a quick look at this part right here.
Spot number 1. There's that tracking failed thing again. There we go. All right, now we're working. This water looks good.
All right, so there you saw him again. He was able to move the screen around. He's able to actually expand it, make it smaller. So, I mean, what are you guys thinking? What do you think? I mean, it looks pretty neat. All right, so and then there's another thing that I'm going to show you that can be added to this. If you guys saw that thumbnail, did you see that AI fish? That AI fish on the thumbnail. If you saw the AI fish on the thumbnail, put AI fish. Like I said, guys, this is a very interactive show. I will be dropping the call-in link in just a second. But if you saw that AI fish, put AI fish in the chat. I have some things that I'm going to show you guys. Once you start combining all of these things together, it's going to get very, very interesting. Shout out to the money team. Shout out to Big Ivy Fishing. He says, this is cheesy. This is very cheesy. I don't like it. Big Ivy doesn't like it. All right, but shout out to the money team. All right, so let me just ease on over here and take a look at this next segment that I wanted to show you guys right here. Let's see. There we go. All right, we'll pick it up about right here, guys.
The future of fishing is here. And there's nothing we can do about it.
He said the future of fishing is here. So, yeah, I don't know if he's adding some dramatics to this, doing a little, some acting along with it, but you got to admit, it's still very interesting. All right, so now this next part, let me show you guys this next thing right here. So this is the part for people that are interested of how you will actually be able to add this to your system. That's what we're going to take a look at next. But before we do that, let me check this poll and see what you guys are saying. So do you have the Apple Vision Pro goggles? 0%. 0% of you guys are saying that you have the Apple Pro Vision goggles. I wonder why. Could it be that $3,000 to $4,000 price range that they're on? So I'll pull that up and show you guys in just a second. But what we're going to take a look at now is how you actually take these goggles and connect them to your units. And I think some people are going to find a way to add this to their system, because when you think about it, the price of these units now are going up. So if you can save money on getting a smaller unit and now getting these goggles to where you have all of those features right there at your fingertips, literally, he's taking it and moving it around to the different, different settings and things like that. So you're able to turn your head and see that screen instead of looking down like you hear a lot of people complaining about. And they have, memes and everything with people getting old and having hunchbacks and everything like that from looking at their screens all the time. So now it looks like that problem may have been solved. All right, so let's check my likes real quick, guys. How are my likes looking? How are the likes looking? Oh, my likes are looking bad. I need some AI likes in here. Can you guys give me about 6 or 7 more likes? It really does help out the channel, guys. Really, really appreciate it. All right, so the first poll question was, do you have Apple Vision Pro goggles? We have 100% of you are saying, no, you do not have the Apple Pro Vision goggles. All right, so now let's take a look at this, the next segment on here of how you actually get these set up once you decide to go ahead and buy your Apple Pro Vision goggles. All right, so here we go, guys.
See you later, buddy. Ooh. Does technology help an angler catch more fish? Today,
all right, here we go.
We're hopefully going to get closer to that answer.
All right, let's get it lined up right here, guys.
What it is like to watch a fish chase your lure with a screen that is this big in real time. So in order to link up LiveScope with these goggles, I have to actually mirror my phone to the Apple Vision Pro, which is connected to my graph. So I'm actually looking at 3 different screens here, one of which is obvious.
Wow. So look at that. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to link your phone through your Bluetooth to the unit. And from there, it is going to be linked to the goggle. So he's looking at 3 different screens. He's looking at his Garmin screen. It appears that he's using Garmin on here, but I'm pretty sure each one of the Lowrance, Humminbird, Garmin will all have the same way to link to their units. He's linking to the phone, linking to the goggles, and now he's able to see that view that he has. So just look at how big that is in front of him, guys. So I mean, I'm not even sure what size screen that can be. And actually, he can move it to the side so it won't be directly in front of his face. So now he could just turn and look either left or right, depending on where he wants to put that at. He can expand it. He can make that screen even bigger, or he can make it smaller. So there's no need to go out and buy a 22 or 30-inch screen like these guys are having. You could buy the smallest screen, link it through the goggles, and now use that to expand this view. All right. Let's go ahead and finish listening to what he's saying, guys.
Obviously much bigger than the others, that being the Apple Vision Pro. I can see how many volts I've got in my battery. The water temp, it's 56. Oh, it just went away. This is going to be kind of tricky. For whatever reason, this Apple Vision Pro gets very tweaky whenever I'm moving. Oh, and I just did up again. Holy
All right, so what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think? So I'm going to hop into the chat right now, and I have a few more clips that I'm going to show on here. And then, like I told you guys earlier, we'll get into some other things that are going on. In just a few minutes. Just remember that code, MoneyBass. For all of the stuff I bring you guys, the code is going to be MoneyBass. All right, so let's see. Let's hop into the chat. You guys have definitely been rolling in here. So I'm going to do what I call the speed round. I'm going to have to go through here and give some shout outs, see who the Money Team members are so I can get caught up in the chat. But I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking to see what you guys think. Do you like it or do you love it? All right, so I'm going to end this poll right here, and that will be the next poll question. All right, so the next poll question is, let's see, how can we word this, guys? Help me out on this one. So we're looking to see who is okay with using the Apple Vision Pro goggles while fishing and who is against it. So let's see. All right, so who likes the idea of using goggles instead of looking down at the screen? How about that? Change it up a little bit for you. All right, so as we keep going, you guys may change your minds on a little bit, but we'll just keep it simple. I like the goggles. I do not like the goggles, and we're basically talking about using those with fishing, guys. So we're going to keep it simple. Again, that poll is up and running. Want to give a big shout out to the Money Team. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. The banner is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That is for the person that is sponsoring the live stream. So special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, James Harmon with Lanier Bates. He was the sponsor of the last live stream, and that of course carries over to this live stream until someone else decides to, give a super chat, super sticker to during the live stream, and you will then become the sponsor because this channel is supported by you guys, the viewers of the channel. All right, so let's see, guys. Let's hop back into the chat real quick and see where we're at. All right, so big shout out to Big Jim. We have Big Jim Fishing checking in, saying what's going on, everybody. And of course, you guys see CT in here. He was doing his thing this weekend at the Bassmaster Classic. Has a lot of great interviews out. And what do you know? What do you know? He says, great. LJ would be looking like Mr. Magoo on the water now. So shout out to LJ. He is the current sponsor of the live stream, guys. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in. Man, you guys are definitely getting active in the chat. And the other thing that I always say for the people that are watching this on the replay, you want to make sure you catch these lives. The live is a lot more interactive, and you get to see what is going on in the chat. All right, so let's see. All right, so Mako Mill says, I'm like Dimitri. It seems like a safety hazard. So it just depends. Are you talking about while you're driving? Yeah, I think while you're driving, things like that, I think it's, yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. There's people out there that can't drive even when they're just keeping their eyes on the road. So yeah, I can definitely see that as a safety hazard. All right, let's see. Let me just hop in here and see how far I am behind in the chat. All right, let's see. All right, so we'll start off with Two Fishes. Two Fishes says, just wondering if RB showed you where forward-facing sonar hurt him yet. Oh my goodness, what are you guys talking about in the chat? All right, we have Silver Dollar saying, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Who are you guys trying to summon to the live stream? All right, let's see. CT says, nope, but his trolls disappeared. Okay, I see what you guys are doing in here. Let me see. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. All right. Like I said, right now, guys, I'm going to go through the chat real quick, get caught up, just so I can get some feedback. I want to see what you guys are thinking so far about the use of this technology and fishing. Who actually likes it? All right. And just to sample the poll real quick, while you guys are still voting, I see you guys are still voting on it. But the question that is currently active in the poll is, who likes the idea of using goggles, the Apple Vision Pro goggles, instead of looking down at the screen? So now you don't have to look down at the screen. You can just look up while you're fishing and still enjoy all the beautiful sounds and views of nature. Isn't that what everybody wants? So let's see. So we have, I like the goggles is sitting at 31%. So we have a few people. Next time when we do the poll of who has them, it may have changed. So we may have a few people that decide to pick up the goggles. All right. And then we have, I do not like those goggles. Get them out of here. I don't like them. I don't like those goggles with the scopes. I don't even like the scopes. So we have 70%. So yeah, the numbers are still changing, but 30% to 70%. So 70% are saying it's a no-go. It's a no-go. I do not like them. All right, so let's see what else you guys are saying in here. All right, so Joe Winkler says, thinking John said $300 at Best Buy. I don't know about that one. If you're talking about these goggles, I don't know if you're talking about that, but we'll pull that up in just a second so you guys can actually see. So I showed you how if once you decide to get your goggles and your unit, you just link it to your phone and link that to the unit. Just as simple as that. How about that? Just that easy. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. I'm just going through the chat, guys. I'm just what I'm going to do in the speed round is I just click on the members of the Money Team. So shout out to the Money Team. Those are the guys that you see in the chat that have the badges next to their name. It kind of stands out whenever the chat gets moving real quick. It allows me to just pull those up real quick. I can read those guys and move on to the next one so that we can get caught up. And then we'll move on to this next clip in this video. All right, let's see. John. Okay, Joe Winkler says John took his back to the store after he tested them. That is correct. He did take them back. And I think he said he would go back and get them again if people were interested in him showing more videos with those goggles. And I'm pretty sure people want to see it because, I mean, to me, it's pretty interesting. All right, let's see. Ren says Spock had Apple glasses. Is that what Dr. Spock had? All right. Let's see. Black USC says, anybody got any Dramamine? Uh-oh. I guess you're going to use it. Get out there and get kind of woozy on the lake. Already moving around on the boat. Now you're moving your head trying to keep up with the screen. All right. Let's see. What else do we have in here? All right. Mako Mill says, I'm not a fan. I don't like it. But I think he likes the scopes. Mako Mills likes the scopes, the live scope, because I know you have it, but you don't like the goggles. How can you like the scope but not like the goggles? You want to keep looking down all day? You're going to have to get a crook in your neck and all that stuff while you're fishing? You don't want that. You'd rather have the goggles, right? All right, let's see. Demetric says, wondering if it would help with some of the fools texting while driving. Just curious. Oh, my goodness. So wait a minute. So now they're going to be not only texting, but they're going to be driving, reading text off to the side, probably watching a video over here. So yeah, I do not think it is a good idea to have those on while you're driving. And then just think, what if something goes out on the screen and it just goes completely black while you're in the middle of rush hour? Well, not rush hour, but let's say you're going down the road at about 60 miles an hour and the screen goes blank and you're just trying to hurry up and take those things off. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea to have them on while you're driving. All right, so Dodie Fishing says, I'm going to give up bass fishing. Oh, no. Dodie said, I'm done. I don't want to fish with the scopes and the goggles. Don't make me do it. I'm just going to go dig up some worms and go back the old-fashioned way. Get me a hook, some worms, and just sit on the bank and have some fun with it. All right, shout out to Vernon Neal. He says, these glasses are probably the reason we're seeing so many boating accidents. Everybody's out there with the scopes. All right, Mako Mill says, I'm like Dimitri. It seemed like a safety hazard. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we have. Let's see. All right, Dodie Fisher says, I'm going to give up bass fishing and become a millionaire. Okay, hey, that sounds like a plan. That will be an interesting question. If you could have $1 million, but you could no longer fish. Not, I mean, you can watch it. You can watch me fish, watch somebody else, but you could no longer fish. Would you take $1 million and take that offer? What do you think? That might be a poll question for everybody. All right, Mike Deal says, bring back paper maps and old mono line. Let's get back to the old school. Shout out to Don Barks. He says, I'll stick to my neck pain. So he's going to go ahead and look down and just massage his neck every once in a while. All right, let's see what else we have, guys. Big Ivy says, from far distance, it might look like a bra on your head. Big a bra on your head. Big Ivy, what kind of activities are you doing out here? Talking about a bra on you. We're fishermen over here. What are you doing over there, Big Ivy? All right, Mike Dill says, hey, Don. All right. Big Ivy says, I can buy you a used car for that. That car sounds like it's going to break down on you, Big Ivy. I don't know about that one. Don Bark says, Bren, he returned them. He didn't like them. Okay. Yeah. So why did he say he didn't like them? I can't remember. But yeah, I did remember him saying that he would go back and pick them up if his viewers wanted him to make more videos with them. All right, Big Ivy says that thing costs more than a unit. Depends on what unit that you get. It really does. Some of these units are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 or more, and then they're getting the units and buying the additional 22-inch screen and connecting those to the units. So yeah, I mean, it really depends, guys. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. We have South Georgia Bass and checking in. What is going on? Really appreciate you joining the live stream. All right, let's see what else we have. Mike Deal says, another day of paradise, living the dream with the goggles on. All right, and we got to give a shout out to the Facebook crew. We have George L. Jones checking in. Really appreciate you for tuning in. All right, South Georgia Bass says, you'll look like an idiot, like he does, if you're out there looking around with the goggles. If you're throwing your goggles on, let me throw my goggles back on. Let me just scroll through here a little bit more. Go this way, go that way. Okay, wait a minute. Check my screen over here. Okay, all right, yeah. Oh yeah, I like it. I likes the goggles. All right, let's see. All right, so Silver Dollar says, don't do iPhone or Apple products. All right, he says, hey, I don't like it. I'll get the goggles if they are on Android, but not the Apples. I want some Android goggles. Is that what you're looking for, Silver Dollar? All right, let's see. CT is coming in here adding something new to the mix. He says, use it as a co-angler and hack the boater's signal. Oh, my goodness. Sounds like you're kind of pro co-angler there. You want to get rid of the boaters. All right, so shout out to James Harmon. He says, dang, it sounds like I can go fishing and never leave my couch. You might be able to. I think you can already do that. Yeah. I got the hookup for you on that one. Shout out to Joe Winkley. He says, I'm thinking I would just walk off the deck of my boat with that thing on. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be ugly to just walk straight into the water. So you've seen the video games where people have the goggles on and they may be boxing or something like that, and they start dodging or thinking something's chasing them, and they actually start running and run into a wall or knock things over. So yeah, I can see what you're saying, Joe, on that one. All right, let's see. All right, Mike Deal says, I'll wait for Coaster or Waterlands versions of glasses. Okay, all right. You're gonna, get the glasses out there instead of the scopes. All right, let's see. I like saying scopes. It's kind of funny sounding. All right, so let's see, guys. Let's see what else you guys are talking about in here. I thought I was almost caught up in the chat. You guys are rolling. Wait a minute. Another big shout out to the Facebook crew. We have Jay Striker Nation checking in. He says, what's going on? What's up, guy? Really appreciate you for tuning in. How are things going for you out there on the tournament trail? I know you're out there fishing the BFLs and some other things, making things happen out on the lake. All right, so let's hop back into the chat just a little bit. Check a few more of these chat messages, and then I'll finish playing the rest of this clip, because like I said, I do have some other clips, some other information that you guys will want to know about. Just remember code MoneyBass, guys. Just remember that code MoneyBass. All right, James Harmon says, watching nature while fishing, like Randy doesn't fish to catch fish. Oh my goodness. Mike Deal says Chicken Hawk needs a pair. Oh yeah, Chicken Hawk might already have him some. We'll see. We'll have to check on the Hawk and see how he's doing. All right. Shout out to Texas Newt. All right, another member of the Money Team. Really appreciate you for tuning in once again. Delta Bass says goggles, yeah, but when it rains, am I getting a refund, Apple people? You don't need a refund. You just put on your fishing hat. Just put on your fishing hat that matches your fishing goggles. All the new technologies coming along with them. And actually, they may make them with some windshield wipers, with some goggle wipers on the front of them. How about that? All right, James Harmon says, and here we go, complaining about kids nowadays locked on their computers, then wear goggles while fishing. Kind of interesting. Shout out to Javaris Johnson, a new member of the Money Team. Everybody on the Money Team, just shout Javaris out. Give him a warm welcome. He is a member of the channel. Really appreciate you for tuning in. He says interesting concept. So Javaris might be out there with his goggles. Javaris might be, out here. I mean, wait a minute. You're going to have to hold the rod under your arm so that you can, move the screens around, then grab that's how you do it. So yeah, Javaris is like, hey, I'm going to catch me one of those AI fish. All right. CT says us blind people need the goggles. Hey, that's another thing to consider. Now, your eyesight is kind of bad out here nowadays, guys. So do you want to keep squinting and trying to look down at that screen, or do you want the goggles on with the big massive screen that just, can take up everything? You won't even have to look at anything but the screen at that point. All right, Texas Noob says, I need to keep my head on a swivel too. Too many boat accidents going on right now. Oh yeah, we might have to talk about that on one of these streams, guys, because there are some dangerous situations going on out there. All right, Mike Deal says, bobbers, the original forward-facing sonar. All right, we have LJ saying, he says, my Bluetooth went crazy and suddenly I was watching. Oh my God. I have to keep an eye on LJ. So I wore those things for 3 days and told the wife I'm fishing. Oh no. Oh my goodness. All right, LJ. That was a good one. Shout out to Corey. What's going on, Corey? Really appreciate you for tuning in. He says, welcome to Fishing in the Matrix. All right, yeah. So Neo, you might meet Neo out there on the lake these days, guys. Soon Lanier Bates will have a drone like hard swimmers. Oh yeah, there you go. All right, let's see. Joe Winkler, what does he say? Wondering how long it would take the DOT to pull me over when they see me wearing a set of watching MoneyBass videos. Okay, take a poll, Money. Hey, I mean, all you got, if you have the hat on, you get a free pass. They'll give you a free pass. All right, so Ron Robinson says, I'm out in a heartbeat for $1 million. So Ron says he will stop fishing for the rest of his life for $1 million. I don't think too many of you guys would actually do that. Who would trade $1 million to never fish again? I mean, maybe if I was, I mean, maybe you see things a little different once you kind of get up in the years a little bit. You may start seeing things a little different, but I think most people will say nah, especially if you have that addiction to fishing. All right, Joe Winkler says, okay, he's laughing at at LJ's story. Oh yeah. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, so let's see. We have Rick checking in. He says he wants to check out a poll. He said, would you like the old pistol grips to come back? We don't need a poll for that one. The answer to that one's no. We don't need the pistol grips, man. We need the scopes is what we need. All right, let's see. What else do we have in here, guys? All right, you guys are rolling. All right, so I'm almost caught up in the chat, guys. All right, Don Bark says, only help I'd ever see is when he was using Navionics. Okay, when he was running, kept his head up, but he saw some blind spots. Oh yeah, you'll see some blind spots. Maybe that's why, because remember, you can take your different screens and kind of move them to wherever you want. So it appears he must have put his Navionics just right above, because remember when he was driving, he was kind of looking up like this. So I think he was looking up at the mapping while he was driving. All right, and there we go. So NC Shooter. All right, NC Shooter. All right, I see you. I see you. And this is what I was saying. NC Shooter says, with the goggles, you won't need a 22-inch NBT battleship. That is right, because this you can shrink it or you can expand it. You can move it to the side. And hey, that's what I was saying. I think if somebody actually does the numbers and see, because how much does one of those battleship screen, the 22-inch NBT battleship screen, guys? How much does that screen cost? And the other thing, that screen itself has to be linked to a Garmin unit in order for you to use that screen. It doesn't just show connected directly to the transducer or through the network, does it? Or is that the way that you do it? Does it have to be connected to another screen in order for you to use that? All right, let's see what else you guys are talking about in here. All right, we got Kevin Twofish. It says, I'm wondering when AI will be integrated into forward-facing sonar. Oh, yeah, I think they're working on it. All right, so a few more, and then we'll hop back into it. All right, $1 million ain't enough. That's right. Big Ivy says, hey, I'm not stopping fishing for $1 million. I need more than that. Big Ivy says, I win more than that in a season of fishing. He's out there making it happen. All right, Silver Dollar says, I was thinking the same thing. It could integrate into Target Lock. Okay. All right. James Harmon says, I'll take $1 million and just wear the goggles on the couch. All right. So he's figuring it out. He's working it out. Dodie Fisher says, I have 2 pistol grips in my boat, custom made by Kistler. Perfect jerkbait rods. Okay. All right. There we go. So we do have some pistol grip guys out there. Chris Phillips, another member of the Money Team. Really appreciate you for tuning in. Says, I'm gonna fish, but the competition fishing may end if they don't limit the technology. I don't know. I think this is going to be newer forms of competitions going on, guys. I don't think people are going to stop competing. All right. South Georgia Bassett says, nope. Keep your $1 million. I'm going fishing. Exactly. I kind of figured that. All right. Silver Dollar says, let's see, Georgia Bell, same here. All right. So yeah, you're not going to give up your fishing. All right. What does CT say? He says, fishing, don't think of that. Great idea. All right. Dodie fishing, don't think it. Okay. All right. And what does Brent say? Heck, $1 million won't even buy a bass tracker nowadays. Oh, my goodness. All right. Todd Jenkins says, I missed the beginning. What is the video with the goggles? All right. We're talking about some technology. So let's go ahead and get right back into it. But Joshua Lee says, oh, my God, who is talking about the forward-facing sonar now or the Apple goggles? Did anyone like Andrew Upshaw's video? I missed it. I haven't seen that one yet. All right, so let's go ahead and take another dip into the next clip on this, guys. So how are you guys liking the Apple goggles when it relates to fishing so far? All right, so let's just take a look at this last part, and then we'll get into another segment that I was telling you guys about. So this is going to be him actually using the goggles to catch fish. So watch, you'll see his bait, you'll see the lure, and look how big it is on the screen. So guys with vision problems or guys with neck problems, like we keep hearing, that don't want to be looking down all day, take a look.
Nuts. All right, this is cool. At least we're seeing some fish interact. At 45 on the bottom, that looks like a good fish. Okay, I'm dropping down. There goes my bait. He sees it. He sees it. Oh my gosh, this could happen. He sees it. This could happen. This could happen, folks. This could happen. Got him.
Boom.
No way. No way. We did it. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. It's a decent one too. Oh no, he broke me.
All right, let's take a look at it again, guys.
At least, gosh, this could happen. He sees it. This
All
could
right,
happen.
so
Little guy just came up for it.
All right, so
oh my gosh, that was nuts. All right.
Let's just take a look. So you see he just casted his bait out there, and just watch how he has it on the screen. Right now he has it directly in front of him. He just made the cast, and that's out at about 40 feet. And you see that fish coming up to his bait as the bait is going down to that fish. And bam, right there, he just caught it. So that's it, guys. So look at the different views that he has. Let's see. Let me just pull up another segment right there, guys. All right, so just take a look at that. So he can move that screen off to the side. And if you can see right here, you can see all of those fish. They're following his bait. He can see everything clearly. He can expand or make that screen smaller, just depending on how he wants to use it. So what do you think? What do you guys think? All right, so let's check the chat. Let's check the poll, and also let's check the likes. Do you guys like the live stream? Are my likes looking good? Are the likes looking like you like me? Let me see. They look kind of decent, guys. But can I get about 7 more likes? Can you guys set the hook on the like button? Just 7 more likes, guys. That'll look kind of good. All right, so let's see who likes the idea of using goggles instead of looking down at the screen. So we have 33% that says I like the goggles. So it looks like that is going to be the theme, because I think the other poll was 30 to 70. So it was around the same thing. It was around that 33 mark. 33% of you guys are saying you're kind of feeling them. You kind of like what you see with the goggles. And we have 67% that says I do not like those goggles. All right, so now with talking about advancements in technology, this next segment that we're going to take a look at. Now, think about combining what I'm about to show you with those goggles. Just think about it, guys. All right, so just bear with me. Like I said, this is a live show. So let me share the screen and pull up this next segment so you guys can take a look at it. And I wonder what you guys are going to have to say about this. All right. All right, and this is going to be from Major Bass. We have Major Bass checking in. Has anybody seen this guy before? Shout out to Major Bass. All right, so now let's take a listen and see what this has to do with goggles and AI.
Yeah, the animated lure. I knew I have it. Actually, I got another one down in there somewhere. I just can't wait to play with it. This is awesome. This is the animated lure, guys. Just look at how realistic that looks.
All right, so take a look at that, guys. He's calling it an animated lure. It looks very lifelike. Those scales and everything look very real. What do you guys think about the quality of that? What is an animated lure? Why is he calling it animated? Does anybody know what that does? All right, I'm just looking in the chat. Prince said, is he drunk? Hey, maybe he's just drunk on happiness. Maybe he's so happy that he has an animated lure. Maybe he's just happy about that animated lure. So let's take a look and see what this animated lure does.
They call this the roach, I guess, but that looks almost identical to those giant wild shiners that I've been fishing out here. This thing swims on its own, and it's not like just twitches, guys. This thing swims and moves on its own. I'm going to plug it in. It's rechargeable. I'm going to show you how to plug it in. It kind of gives you the details all about it, but I'm going to put it in my sink first. Let's put it in the sink and see like a fish. Makes sense to me. Isn't that nice? Look how gorgeous this thing is, though. 4 different segments. It's got a great little motion to it. There's a propeller on the front. Look at that. There's an actual little propeller right here on the front. That's what gives it all the action and all the motion, is that little propeller moving there. I want to catch a fish with this. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to completely charge it, and it's supposed to last about an hour and a half in the water. How do you know when it's charging? Oh, look, there's a little blue light on. There's a little blue light that comes on when it's charging. There it is. It's like Frankenfish here. It's alive. It's alive.
All right, guys. So he has his animated lure. It appears as though it's battery operated. He's charging it now. So I'm going to skip into this a little bit just so you can see what he decided to do. And what he's doing is he's having a challenge. He's actually fishing with live bait versus using the animated lure. And he casts both of those out at the same time just so he can see what the results will be. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so here
animated lure in my hand here. That way, if the animated lure gets hit, I'm right here and I'm able to react right away. I don't have to run and grab the line. Maybe another storm coming the other way. Whoa. Animated lure's got a fish, guys. It just went under. I got one. I got one on the animated lure. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it's a big fish, too, guys. Guys, this is a big fish. Oh, yeah. He's huge. I can barely pull a drag on him. Gone. What do we got? We got a giant. We got a giant. He's way over there. Oh, my God. I can't. Oh, come on. This thing is just massive, guys. It's insane. Here he is. He's over here. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, baby. Woo! Woo! Yes. We got a tank. An absolute tank. Get him. Animated lure. Get him. Yeah.
Oh, he
Look
got
out. Yeah. Look at it, dude. They got one. Woo!
Okay, so does he sound happy about catching a fish on an animated lure, guys? Now, who's gonna say that it's not fun to catch fish on an animated lure? Some people, 33% apparently like the goggles. Now let's see, what do you guys think about the animated lure? So we're going to drop this poll down and we're going to change it. So everybody that is just tuning in, welcome to the live stream. Really, really appreciate you for tuning in. This is a live show, guys. So make sure you get active in the chat. I currently have a poll that is up and running. We're about to take a look at that. Then we're going to drop that one down and bring up another one. But wait a minute. I think we have to. Oh, my goodness, guys. We have to stop the show. We have a sponsor of the live stream. We have South Georgia Bassin has stepped in with the $9.99 super chat. All right, what does South Georgia Bassin say? Let me see. A good live chat subject could be better safety during tournaments in light of the recent boating accident. Co-anglers are chatting it up. So are you referring to the boating accident where the guy was going under a bridge and I guess he didn't get off plane going under a bridge through that narrow area and actually went on top of another person's boat? Is that the one that you're referring to? Just drop it in the chat and let me know. But big shout out to South Georgia Bassin. What that means is I need to head into that banner and do a little work, guys. Let me update that real quick. Once again, this is a live show. So let me update this to the current sponsor of the live stream. We have South Georgia Bassin. Just bear with me, guys. Like I said, it's a live show, so sometimes I have to hop in here and do a little work. South Georgia Bassin. All right, there we go. All right, so now if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, the banner scrolling across there says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, South Georgia Bassin, has hit us with the $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. All right, so let's see. So yeah, which boating accident were you referring to? All right, so let's see what else. Let me see. So South Georgia Bassin says yes, Harris Chain, no wake zone. So yeah, I think that's the same one that I just recently saw where the boat was actually sitting on top of somebody else's boat, and he wasn't too happy about it. But I don't believe anyone got hurt with that, so that was definitely a good thing. All right, so now let me hop back over here real quick. But once again, big shout out to South Georgia Bassin, the current sponsor of the live stream. All right, so this poll that I'm about to end, the question was, who likes the idea of using goggles instead of looking down at the screen? We have 35% of you guys are saying, yeah, I'd rather look up through my goggles. Let me throw on these solar back shades real quick once again, guys. I'd rather look through my goggles and move some screens around and be able to look this way and that way while I'm fishing. You know what I mean? Move this screen around. So that way I'm not looking down. You know, I can, it'll free up my eyes. But yeah, guys, Solarbat sunglasses. Make sure you go and check them out at solarbat.com. Use code MoneyBass. And the thing that I had been pretty much telling you guys that was coming is we have an Air Force line. So let's see if you guys can see that right there. So if you take a look, it has kind of like the Air Force on the side of it right there. And there's also the ones that have for you Air Force guys. Let's see, which side is it? For you Air Force guys, take a look at that right there. Can you see the Air Force logo on there, guys? And right now, let me just tell you guys this real quick. So I have a few different styles here. So we have those. We have the ones that I was putting on here. Those are my fake AI goggles right there. So it's a few different styles. And I'll tell you guys something in just a minute, because you know I do a lot of electronics tutorials and things on my channel. The ones with this yellow tint, there's some things that those really help out with. And I'm going to show you guys in just a minute some of the color palettes, and whether you're using Garmin, Lowrance, or Humminbird. I run Humminbird, so I was testing those out using my Humminbird and using a certain color palette where it made things pop a lot better using that yellow tint on there. But go to solarbat.com, and right now they do have a sale going on, guys. So use code MoneyBass for 25% off when you order. When your order totals reach $100, you'll receive a grab bag lure package with a value of $30. And the sale is going to run to the end of the month. If you are active or retired military, you always get 35% off. Just always use the code MoneyBass when you make your purchase so that you can get free shipping, guys. So I have a few good deals coming out. And also the other thing, the hoodie that you guys seen me use a lot, that is another company that is that company is veteran owned. And he has a lot of good apparel that is Deaf Fishing Apparel. So anybody that's always asking me about the hoodie, that red and white hoodie that I wear, that's where I got that from. So just thought I'd bring those things to you guys. And any other good deals I come across, I'll definitely bring them to you. All right, so let's see where were we at. So we're going to drop this poll down and bring up the next one. So the question that the video clip that we just finished watching was of the animated lure. So who thinks it would be fun? Let's see. Who thinks it would be fun to catch fish on that animated lure? All right, guys. I'm wondering what you guys are going to say about this. So we'll go with yes, looks fun, or no, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. All right. So yeah, so you guys get active in the on this poll. It is now up and running. There you go, guys. All right. So let me hop back into the chat and see what else you guys have to say about the animated lure. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about combining an animated lure with your scopes. Does anybody see where this may be heading? All right, so we have Don Robinson says, does it swim by a fish and shock it up? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I didn't think about that. So you have an electroshock. So it kind of glides down to the fish and like, hey fish, I'm your friends. Can we all hang out? Then you wait till you get around a bunch of 5, 6, 7 pounders and you see it and you hit your button and zzz, just shock all of his buddies and they just come floating to the top. You scoop them out with the net. Oh my goodness, Ron. I don't know, Ron. What do you think about that? All right, let's see what else we have in here, guys. Shout out to Joe Winkler. He says, what did he catch that on? He caught it on the animated lure. Let me pull it back up and let you guys see that animated lure again. It was pretty interesting. I mean, it looked, the quality of it to me, it was pretty good. Let's see if I can get a close-up for it for you guys. There you go. So there you go, the animated lure. What do you guys think about that? I mean, it's real lifelike, looks good, but who would actually use that? Who would actually use that in the chat? Let's see what else you guys have to say. Big Abby says that must be a real old video. Yeah, I think, well, let's see. Yeah, it is actually. So they've advanced since this one came out. So this video is kind of old. And the thing that I wanted you guys to see was that the technology is out there, it's been out there, and it's been improving. This was 5 years ago. So just imagine how well those things move and they work now. All right, so let's see. LJ says, sounds like he was 6 shots and 2 beers in. All right, shout out to Mike Dill. He says some of the Livingstons are fire at times. Okay. All right. All right. We have Silver Doll says 2 boats just had an incident in the Harris Chain, violated no wake zone, and both got banned for 1 year. Just happened. Both of them. Yeah. Wow. I didn't know both of them did it. I remember one guy was saying he was going to run and not stop through the no wake zone so he can make it back on time or something like that. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, that's definitely reckless driving. Do you go to jail for reckless driving? All right, so we have Brett says, I think the boaters got banned for a year. All right, so you guys are talking about that wreck. So yeah, definitely want to stay safe out there on the water, guys. There's going to be a lot of people getting out there now that the weather is changing and everything. Another thing that you want to do is, especially if you're fishing by yourself, is get one of those inflatable life jackets that you can leave on all of the time, especially if you're by yourself, because you never know when you may have just have something happen and you may trip, fall off the boat, hit your head or something like that, or just have a quick fainting spell or just something like that, where you're out there on the lake by yourself and fall into the water and may have a hard time floating or getting yourself back in. So yeah, definitely want to stay safe, guys. Don't want any of the guys watching this or anybody we know to definitely have something bad happen to them when they're out there on the water. All right, shout out to Big Dog. Says I'm late, but I'm here. All right, glad you made it. All right, let's see. He says, do rose apple glasses come prescription too? Oh, those Apple goggles. I don't know. I doubt it. They'll probably add a big price tag to those things if you try to get them the prescription. All right, Mako Mill says, I want to see how that lure performs in the water. Did he show that on his video? All right, so I'll find another one. And actually, let's go ahead and do that now. Just bear with me, guys. So he wants to see how these animated lures actually perform on the water. So let's see. There was one that actually showed that. So let me find that for you real quick. All right, so I'm just pulling up a guy so you can see how these animated lures work underwater. All right, so just bear with me. Let me share the screen again. All right, so here we go. So this is one of those animated lures under the water. So this is an older version of one too, but they have newer ones out now. So this one's kind of swimming in a circle, but I think the more line that you give it, the bigger that circle will be. That one says it swims for about 1 to 2 hours. So they have some different ones on here. Let me just find another one and see. But let's see, where's the other one at, guys? I was trying to see if we can find a newer one. One of the newer versions. Yeah, so I mean, they pretty much look like they swim about the same, but some of the technology has changed. So yeah, I mean, let's check the poll real quick. Who is saying that they would like to use one of those? Let's see. Who thinks it would be fun to catch a fish on the animated lure? So we have 42% says yes, looks fun. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh, 42%. So remember, we were at what was it? 70-30. Well, 65-35 on the goggles. And now we are at, what is that? 42% saying yes on the animated lure. So now when we combine that animated lure with the goggles, hey, we're having a whole other thing going on. But there are people out there that really enjoy different gadgets and things like that. So I can see where people would find those find those to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's see. So 42%. All right, let's see, guys. I'm just back in the chat now, so make sure you continue to get active in the chat. All right, so South Georgia Basson says, I like my forward-facing sonar, but nope on the electric lures. Yeah, I kind of understand that one too. I mean, it seems like it would be fun, like to go out there with your kids or something like that and kind of play around with it. All right, so Silver Dollar says, South Georgia Basson, no need for that one. They were definitely lucky. Oh yeah, for that accident. Definitely. All right, guys. I'm just looking through the chat real quick, trying to get caught up. Okay, there we go. All right, so Mike Deal says that would be snagged in the brush in about 20 seconds. So yeah, so if you notice, he has it on a bobber, and he can set the depth on how deep he wants that to go. So think of it this way. So now you're out fishing in 30 feet of water. You see some suspended fish. You set the line the same way if you fish a floating fly. If any of you guys have used that before, you set the depth on your line with a piece of string so that bobber will actually stop the line. So now you can set the line at about 25 feet. You cast it out while watching the fish on your live scopes, on the scopes. And you watch your bait fall down there, and you just watch your bait swimming around. Those fish will definitely come up and take a look at it. Whether they will eat it or not is a different story. But yeah, I mean, I can see how somebody can be out there using this. Craven, shout out to Craven, says, poor bass, what are we doing to these fish? We're out here scoping them. We're animated luring the fish. We're doing all kinds of stuff to these poor fish. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. What does NC Shooter says? I'm from southeastern North Carolina, and my grandpa always had a balloon in the boat. He would catch a crappie. Wow, I know what he's about to say. He would catch a crappie, tie a balloon to its top fin with 15 feet of 5-pound test and a tiny bit of air in the balloon. Good days. So wait a minute, was he doing that so that he can watch that fish go back to the school of crappie? Is that what he was doing with that? Kind of neat, kind of neat. All right, let's see what else. All right, so he says never see crappie drones. So that sounds like a version of a drone right there to set up a fish with a balloon and have him go back and tell on the rest of his partners. All right, let's see what else you guys are talking about. Brent says, I think the lithium batteries are being outlawed, so not sure what the new ones use. All right, CT says, fun fact, floating fly was originally a stream trout tactic used with match rods. All right, CT has the knowledge over here. All right, guys, I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to hit the call-in link, come up. You know, what do you think about the use of the goggles and the use of the animated lures? So if you want to call in, the link will be in the chat. Just make sure you are cammed up. I'll bring you up for a minute or two, let you come and speak your piece on the topic, and drop you back down and bring up the next guest. All right, let's see. We have the Sabine King checking in. Shout out to the Money Team. Says, I have one of those lures and caught fish on it. Oh, my goodness. Come on, Sabine King. Come on up here and tell us about the action on your animated lure. The Sabine King. Are you out there catching those fish with the animated lures? All right. Good deal with that one. All right. Then LJ says, exactly. A few guys down on the West Point back in the day did the balloon trick for hybrid. Okay. That is very, very interesting. All right. Let's see. Ron is checking in saying there was a high school at Lake Murray, and two of the teams collided and threw both of the captains out, knocking one of them out. Both were inflatable jackets. One of the jackets did not. Okay, wait a minute. Both were wearing inflatable jackets. One of the jackets did not. Okay, I guess one of the jackets did not inflate. So that is a good point, because I've heard that before. And actually, for me, whenever I was fishing BFLs and tournaments like that, I would actually wear the inflatable life vest on while I was fishing. When I would sit down in the boat to start my motor back up, I would put on one of the life vest on top of that one that actually clipped. So yeah, and that was one of the reasons for that, and also so you don't forget to your kill switch, things like that. But yeah, so that is definitely something to keep in mind, guys. When you're running, you do want to have on one of those higher rated life vests. All right, so let's see. NC Shooter says he would follow that balloon for hours or till he had enough for dinner. Wow. Oh my goodness. Good deal. All right, so we have somebody back here, and I think this person, they may have one of these animated lures. Let's see, who is this? Who do we have here? We have Saber.
What's up?
What's going on, guy? How are you doing?
Hey, let me tell you, I'm doing a lot better now that I'm able to talk to you again. It's been a few weeks. I've been, Lord, running myself to death lately.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah,
I'm
I saw
here.
you
I'm
hop in.
glad to talk to you.
I saw you hop in the chat once or twice in the past, what, 2 or 3 weeks. So what's going on? Do you have one of those animated lures?
I
Is that
have an electronic lure. Oh, yeah. And we're going to take it out and look at it.
no? Wait a minute. When you're saying electronic, do you mean it actually moves?
Not move. It makes
Okay.
noise. Look,
Okay.
look inside of it. You can see the wires.
Gotcha. Gotcha. There was another company that made those. I forgot the angler that was throwing that on Lake Gunnersville, but it was like a red one. I know somebody in the chat is going to know who I'm talking about.
This is a Livingston bait.
That's what it
And
was. It was Livingston. Yep.
That's the bait company that makes this. And if you take and can you hear it through the mic?
Yep, sure can.
Okay. All of them make a little bit different noise, but all of them make noise. I haven't yet been able to try these out in a real honest to God situation. I've like flipped them around in a pond or two, but I'm like, that's really neat and unique.
Right.
And it's a lipless crankbait. It's a white lipless crankbait with a red eye.
Right.
What more you want?
So let me ask you this. Do you fish tournaments? You fish tournaments, right?
I do not.
Okay,
I am a YouTuber through and through.
Okay, there we go. All right, so shout out your YouTube channel. I always tell people with YouTube channels, they should come up and, let people know who they are.
Channel is Saber Outdoors. Let me get my orientation right. You will see this logo when you get there. I don't put out videos. I used to put out videos twice a week, every week. Now I'm down to one video a week, every week consistently. And I'll put out a Tuesday video every so often. Like I put out a Tuesday video today. Randy Howell is a great dude. I met him at the Livingston booth, which is where I picked these up last year at the Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville.
There you go. Yeah, so that's why I went and bought one. You know how when we see somebody catch a fish on a lake, we're like, oh, I need that specific lure. I have to have that one that they just used. So
now I'm going to wholeheartedly admit, I did not see anyone catch fish on these lures. I wasn't like, this pro is using it, that is using it. I was like, I am a YouTuber, and this is a unique thing. So I'm going to use the unique thing and have a great title, great thumbnail. It's a different mindset than being a pro. It really is.
Right.
And also I'm too poor to be a pro because stuff costs money, and you need not only.
Uh-oh, did you lock up on us? Did we lose Saber Outdoors?
No, I'm right here.
Okay, there you go. You locked up for a minute. So look, your battery kind of blanked out for a second on so your lure was swimming in it. Stop for a second, but we can hear you.
Sorry.
You're back. So what were you saying?
No, I am too poor to be a pro. I don't have the stuff to be a pro. I don't have the place to put the stuff to be a pro. But one fine day, I would love to go try my luck angler, although I may get yelled at by a certain pro. But I'd love to try my luck on the back of the boat with somebody. But that's the way a lot of people got their start.
Yeah.
But as far as the electronic lure thing, this is my only electronic lure at the moment. If I had that electronic lure that the dude in your clip had, that looks like footage to me.
Right. I mean, so did it look to be fun?
Catching fish is fun.
There we go. And
so
if
it catches fish, I'm interested.
Right. So I think a lot of people would have fun with it. They're saying like, nope, that's not fishing and all that kind of stuff. But people like gadgets. You know what I mean? So if you can come up with a gadget and that gadget can go out and do something different, I can see how it would be appealing to people. Not necessarily something they'd want to do all of the time, and not necessarily for the fishing aspect of it, but for the aspect of having a different gadget, another toy to play with out on the lake.
Definitely gadgets are really nice, but some gadgets are not made for people like me, like the VR goggles.
Right.
I can't use them because, I can see the screens that are in front of me, but I can't see where I'm casting. I could be casting into a tree. I could be casting into stumps, logs, any number of things.
I wonder if they fit over glasses. They look pretty big.
from the ones that I have tried for non-YouTube purposes, I had to take my glasses off, and I can plainly tell you that just from me to the screen I'm looking at, I can see nothing. Like you are merely a blob. I have awful vision.
Gotcha. All right.
But
So look, so we'll be checking you out over there at Saber Outdoors, looking for that animated lure video to come out so we can see how it really works.
if I can catch some on it, it'll sure enough be there. Thank you so very much for having me on. And if you need anything, holler. I will be there in a minute.
All right. Sounds good. All right, everybody. Shout out to Saber Outdoors. Really appreciate you for tuning in and coming up, dropping his thoughts on it. So he's a YouTuber. So this is the question that I want to ask you guys. So now you saw, well, that Livingston lure, it is battery operated, but it just makes sound, right? The other one, obviously, it gives action and everything like that. So I doubt any tournament fishermen are going to be okay with using animated lures, right? But what about using the lures that are actually making that sound? Do you guys think that is okay? All right, so I'm going to drop this poll down, and that's the next one that we'll put up. So who thinks it would be fun to catch a fish on the animated lure? We have 46% are saying, yes, it looks like fun. All right, so let's go ahead and drop that one down. All right, so this next poll, so the battery operated, what would we call that? It just makes sound. So a lure. Is it okay to use a battery operated lure that makes sounds? How about that in a tournament? We're talking about a bass tournament here, guys. All right, so we'll just keep this one quick and simple. This is a yes and a no. All right, so yeah, so you're getting that artificial sound from the lure. So I know they have hydro wave and all that kind of stuff out there. So what do you guys think about it being in the lure? So that is live and in action. All right, so there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Let me just find it real quick. All right, so the thing I was mentioning earlier about electronics. Once you guys vote on this poll, I'm going to put up another poll because the guys that are actually using their electronics and mainly your live imaging is what this next segment is going to refer to, and how I was using my these shades, these with the yellow tint that I was telling you about. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so I'm just looking to see how that poll looks. All right, so yeah, I just leave this one up real quick. And also real quick, the likes are looking pretty decent. You guys did me right on the likes. Shout out to the money team. Shout out to the viewers. Really, really appreciate it, guys. All right, so is it okay to use battery operated lure that makes sounds in the tournament? All right, so we have 63% are saying, yeah, it's okay. Hey, I mean, so I wonder, wait a minute, what about if it's a battery? What if it's the lure actually can have movement on its own? So right now we're saying 63% are saying yes, that it's okay with like Livingston baits or something like that that actually makes a sound using a battery. So we're at 63% on that. So I'm going to drop that one down and just do this other one real quick, just so we can see what you guys are thinking. We're just gauging the room, guys. All right, so this next poll is, are you okay with, and we'll just make this animated lures. And just in case anybody isn't sure, that means battery operated lures being used in tournaments. All right, we'll keep this one simple. Once again, we'll go with a yes and a no. All right, there we go, guys. That poll is live and in action. So make sure you hop over there real quick and just answer that poll. Just going to leave it up for a brief second. I'll hop back into the chat while you guys vote on that. Once we see the results, then I'll play this next clip. Like I said, this is going to be something that I think will help out some of you electronics guys. All right, let's see. Good times. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Let's see. All right, here we go. Where did it go? Okay, there we go. All right, so let me hop into the chat while you guys are talking about that. Well, participating in that poll. Then I'll bring it right back up in just a second. All right, let's see. Delta Bass says, anyone noticed while watching tournaments on TV, especially MLF, how they have to wait for those bubble scales to give a weight? You can see the anxiety of some of the fishermen versus the old scales. Oh yeah, so they're waiting for that digital the digital screen to update. What the Bubba scales are actually doing, from what I read about it, because I use those in my live tournaments that we do. They're actually recording the weights a bunch of times as it's bouncing and moving around. So once it gets steady, it can take a good average of the numbers that are being displayed. That was my understanding of it, but it's doing a bunch of reading to make sure that it's accurate. That's what I was understanding those scales to be doing. All right, Brent says, depends on what song they're playing. What are you guys talking about in the chat? All right, CT says, always good to see you, Saber Outdoors. Oh yeah, shout out to Saber Outdoors for coming up. Make sure you guys go and check out his channel. All right, so Lucky says, I think they are now doing way too much with new VR goggles. Oh yeah, it's been out for a minute. People have been doing all kind of stuff on those things. All right, so NC Shooter says, noise is one thing, movement is too much for me. All right, and that's what I was kind of thinking. That's what I think the poll is going to end up showing. All right, Joe Winkler says, the option of best 2 out of 3 weights on the Bubba scale is bogus. All right, so what do you think about those Bubba scales, Joe Winkler? Because I'm not sure if I missed what you guys were saying about the best 2 of 3. All right, so Don says, why not use forward-facing sonar? All right. Shout out to Jacob. What's going on, Jacob? Glad to see you checking into the live stream. Jacob says, honestly, all these new electronics and gadgets are really taking the finesse and old school reading the lake out of fishing. Tournaments should have levels for the amount of electronics now. Yeah, so I mean, it's a whole different thing going on out there nowadays. All right, reminds me, let's see, Brent says, reminds me of Billy Bass singing, Take Me to the River. Oh my goodness, not Billy Bass. All right, let's see what else we have. NC Shooter says, put me on the water, love my Billy, the Bass, when it first came out. All right, CT says, Don Barks, I'm not far from putting battery, what is that? Chems in the lake for what they get broke off. Okay. All right. I got you. All right. Joe Winkler says, seen it at MLF. Matt Steffen had the official weight. His fish had to, okay, he had to officially weigh his fish 3 times. Oh, he had to official weigh his weight 3 times. Did the weight come up different each time? What happened with that? All right. C219 Troll. Well, I've seen some of the anglers do that. They'll reweigh it. I'm thinking that they must have it to where an angler can reweigh their fish if they want, but I was thinking that it was just twice. So I haven't really seen anybody do it 3 times. All right, C219 Troll says, what's up, money? Caught 2, all right, a 2 and 2.21 pound crappie yesterday. Got officially weighed and will receive angler award. Okay, trying to get 25 this year. Wow. All right, well, congratulations on that. This is definitely a place where you guys can come and use it as a brag board about the successes and wins that you have out on the lake, guys. All right, Don Bark says, nope, came out the same weight. Wait a minute. So he weighed it 3 times and came out the same weight. Okay, wait a minute. All right, once again, shout out to C219 Troll. Congratulations, sir. CT shouting you out. All right, Brent says, yeah, ounces make all the difference. All right, so Joe Winkler says, ended up he lost 3 ounces. So wait a minute. Do they, when you do the best out of 3, what do they do? Do they take the highest weight, the lowest weight? Yeah, I thought they just took the highest weight that you get. All right, Jacob Martin says, also shout out from the Marine Corps vet to an Air Force vet. All right, shout out to you. Really, really appreciate your service. All right, let's see. He says, love the channel when I can catch it. Simple. All right. Hey, there you go, guys. Really, really appreciate it. And what I was saying before, guys, and I'll go ahead and play that now. So solar bat sunglasses. So what I try to do is link up with companies that are working with military brands or the military, things like that, and I'll bring those brands to you guys and also be able to get them to you for a discount. Always remember the code MoneyBass in order to take advantage of any discounts that are available. But for these right here, I mean, these aren't the Marine glasses, but these are the Air Force glasses right there. So if you take a look, you can see that logo is right there on the shades. So yeah, so they have Air Force branded shades. So I'll be, kind of leading the way on pushing those. Here's another pair right here. So they have a few different styles. So when you go to solarbat.com, just make sure, like I said, you guys use the code MoneyBass. And as you can see, they have the Air Force logo on those. So I had to go through some steps with the military in order just to get that on there. Seems like a small thing, guys, but hey, the military is definitely going to protect their brand. So that is a big deal. So for any of you military guys out there, the other thing, make sure you use the code MoneyBass so you can get 25% off when your order totals reach $100. You will receive a grab bag lure package with a value of $30. Now that sale runs to the end of this month, so you only have a few more days. Just make sure you use code MoneyBass. Now, if you are active or retired military, guys, you will always get 30% off. Make sure you use the MoneyBass code. All right, and using that code, it will get you free shipping. So that's the deal that I got worked out for you guys. So make sure you go and check it out. That is solarbat.com, code MoneyBass. All right, so let's hop back into the chat and see what else you guys are saying. But yeah, that's kind of a trip right there. So he ended up losing 3 ounces on that. All right, so let's see what else you guys were saying. All right, and once again, shout out to Jacob. Really, really appreciate you for tuning in. All right, so Joe Winkler says, you have to take the third weight no matter what it is. Oh, no. So that was bad. That was bad. So if you reweigh, you have to take the second weight. I didn't know that they did that. All right. So CT says, Jacob Martin, appreciate you. Yes, definitely, definitely. All right. Brent says, thank you for your service. All right. Big shout out to Jacob. Really appreciate you for tuning in. All right. Then we have Coltrane checking in. What is going on? Coltrane says, I'm going to have to get me some of them glasses. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let's ease into this thing that I wanted to show you guys now. All right. So, as you guys know, I run Humminbird Electronics. I use Mega Live, side scan, down scan. I use all of that stuff. And people on this channel, whether you run Garmin, LiveScope, Lowrance Active Target, or Humminbird Mega Live, we're all here to help each other out and just have the best time that we can out on the lake. So this next segment that I wanted to show you guys, let's see. Drop that down and bring this up. All right, so let me drop this other poll question in here real quick too. So that way we can kind of gauge the room. All right, so are you okay with animated lures, battery operated, being used in tournaments? Wow, I'm surprised. We have 31% of people are saying yes. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay. That's surprise. I want if the 31% that voted yes on that. Do you tournament fish? All right. So are you okay with animated lures, which are battery operated and move based on a battery, being used in tournaments? We have 31% that said yes. We have 69% that said no. Wow, that's very interesting. I'm surprised at that one. All right. So the next question, let's end this poll right here. And this next segment, the reason I want to know this is because I want to see how many people that are in here that this is going to benefit. So do you use live imaging? And that's going to be LiveScope, Mega Live, or Active Target. And that's just basically a yes or a no. Do you use live imaging? Yes or no? Let's start this poll. All right, so that poll is live and in action. Make sure you guys participate in that. So now the reason why I'm asking that question is because something that I have been doing is going out and just testing out different color palettes, guys. So let me just bring this up just a little bit. Where is it at? All right, so now just take a look at this, guy. So this is just going through different color palettes. So I believe this is color palette 1. And you'll see some fish out here on the screen. Okay, yeah, you can see my mouse. So you'll see some fish out here moving around. Some of those are down on the bottom. So let's see. There they go. You can see those fish start coming into play over there. And now we're just stepping through the color palettes. That's color palette 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. I've used 10 before. 10 was kind of interesting. That's still 9. There's 10. That was kind of interesting. Now, palette 11. Now, let's stop on that one real quick. So one of the things that I was mentioning is with these solar back sunglasses, that yellow tint that's on there. So those are the ones that I have been using a lot. And what I have found for me, using different color palettes, depending on what shades or whatever that you're wearing, you may be able to get different results. So maybe that contrast with that yellow on yellow is kind of making it pop for me. But who knows? Maybe you should get out there and try it out. But I just wanted to let you guys know that's something to take a look at when you're out on the lake. It may help you out. All right, so let's see what else you guys are talking about in the chat. All right, Don Bark says, I love watching me not catch anything. Oh, my goodness. What are you talking about? All right, let's see what else you guys are talking about in here. All right, so C219 Troll says, going to order some of those solar bats. Thanks. Retired Army soldier here. All right, there you go. So really, really appreciate that. So make sure, like I said, you use the code MoneyBass. That way you will get free shipping. And you definitely need to let them know that you are retired Army so that you can get the 30% off. So retired and active military, you will always get that 30% off. Just make sure you use the code MoneyBass so they will know. All right. All right. Let's see what else we have in here. So Don Bark said Garmin LVS 34. All right. So you out there looking at those fishes swimming around. I said driving, swimming around on the screen. All right. Let's see what else you guys have in here, guys. Let's see. All right. Jacob Martin says, can I fish at night and shine the water with light? And what's the difference with forward-facing sonar, LiveScope, and the rest of the electronics? Asking a real question. So can I fish at night and shine water in the light? I do believe people do that. Like whenever you go to docks, you'll see people who actually have areas where they were in front of their docks. And this is kind of a not secret that whenever you first blast off in the morning, a lot of people they'll run down the lake until they see a dock that still has a light on, and they will head over to that dock and maybe start fishing those docks because those attract smaller fish, and those smaller fish attract bigger fish. So people actually do use lights, as far as I know, whenever they're out fishing. Anybody else more familiar with that than me? But I don't do night fishing. All right, so let's see. So the question was, can I fish at night and shine the water with light? I think the answer to that is yes. I do not think that is illegal as far as I know, but I don't fish that way. But like I said, I see people that have lights on their docks, and they put brush piles and things like that out there to attract the fish so that they can catch those fish. All right, and let's see. What's the difference with forward-facing sonar, LiveScope, and the rest of electronics? So what's the difference with shining light on it? So light is going to attract the fish. When you're using sonar and LiveScope, downscan, side scan, that isn't necessarily attracting the fish. So I think that may answer your question. So light is going to actually have an effect on the fish to where it attracts those fish. Similar light sound. So they actually use hydrowave. They use things that can make noises, like we saw earlier with that bait. It makes a sound. So those are actually going to be fish attractants. So that's how I would answer that question. Anybody else have any input on that? All right, so Brent says, interesting. All right, Cold Train says, I just put active target on my rig. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. I still tend to look at the map and cast around. Oh yeah. I mean, you definitely would still want to use a combination of the two. I mean, I do. I mean, I still use mapping and stuff like that. So this last tournament that I just fished, very stained water, and actually I will be doing a members only live on that, because I found on my channel when I put it out there, a lot of people don't really watch the fishing stuff, but I'll do a recap on my recent tournament where I did take first place. Oh yeah, I got first place out there, guys. And the predominant bait that I used, well, the baits were a spinner bait and a square bill, and pretty much just fishing shallow grass. I would say like 2 to 6 feet of water. So did not use my electronics for this tournament. So kind of went old school on them, guys. Still, got out there and handled a little bit of business. All right, so let's see what else you guys are talking about. All right, Saber Outdoor says, both fishermen use a light to see the fish at night with a spotlight. All right, so there you go. Who was that was asking about that? About using the light. All right, that was Jacob. All right, so yeah, so they actually do use light to because I've seen that also where they use that for bow fishing. All right, so let's see. Jacob also says in Minnesota we cannot. I'm sorry for not saying that first. All right, so yeah, so there I guess it is illegal. Wow. So what about on docks? People don't put lights on their docks or anything there? Because just about every lake that I've been to that have docks, I mean, you'll find somebody that has lights set up and different things where you see sometimes they have rods that are actually just set up and they permanently leave them out there on the docks. All right, CT says, Jacob, there's nothing wrong with that. Pool lights have been a thing for decades. All right, Jacob says we do spotlight carpet night up here. All right, so yeah, it's a lot of different styles of things going on. So one person's way of fishing isn't necessarily another person's style of fishing. All right, Saber Outdoor says, congratulations on the first place. All right, really, really appreciate that. All right, so I will be heading to Lake West Point this weekend. And mentioning Lake West Point, let me just show you, let me share something else with you guys real quick that I think you will be interested in. Like I said, I try to bring some value, some entertainment. So we have some fun with things. And also there is a tournament that is coming up that I have mentioned to you guys before. And some of you said, hey, you may make the trip to come down here. And the reason you would make that trip is because you wouldn't mind getting your hands on $10,000. $10,000, guys. So we're having a tournament at Lake West Point on April 27th. It's going to be hosted by the Rob Bender's Bass Club. It is the 15th annual homecoming tournament. First place will be $10,000, guys. That's based on 150 boats, or 7,000 based on 100 boats. So we're looking to be around that 150 boats range this year, guys, because they are shutting down the lake. Oh yeah, they're shutting down the lake, guys. And it will be the only tournament that is taking place that Saturday on that lake. So should be a lot of participation in there. And the details of that are, let's scroll down just a little bit. Open to all. Bring your own partner. It is Saturday, April 27th. Entry fee is $250 per boat, and that includes big fish. So you can bring your own partner, guys. So it's 2 people per boat. Pre-registration available online now. So the reason that you want to go ahead and register now is because your blast off number will be determined based on when you registered. And to register, just go to robbendersbassclub.com. Let me just pull that back up again real quick. You'll go to this home page, and right here you will see the 15th annual homecoming tournament. Register now. You click on that and it will take you straight to this page that shows you the first place payout. It also shows you some information about places to stay. There are the details for the tournament, and it will take place at Pine Park Road. They just finished building an awesome place up there, guys. There's your tournament registration. So you can come here, type your info online, and submit that. Let's see. There you go. So you just go in and register now. That will allow you to get your spot, guys. That is definitely what you want to do. Go ahead and get your spot held so that you will have an early blast off. See if you can come out there and beat up on me a little bit. I will be out there fishing, guys. I'm going to be fishing for a 7-pounder. Let's see if you can come out there and catch that 7-pounder. All right, but yeah, so that's April 27th, Lake West Point, guys. It'd be nice to see some of you out there. All right, let's see. Was there something else I had for you guys that I wanted to show you? Let me find it real quick. All right, so I showed you the color palettes. All right, so I dropped the call-in link. We had one person come up, had a few things to say. All right, so what do you guys think? Pretty interesting, huh? This new use of technology with the goggles. I'll have to do that poll again. Maybe next time, instead of it being 100% saying no, they do not have it, do not have the goggles. Maybe there'll be 1 or 2 people in the chat that'll have them next time. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Yeah. Shout out to Brent. Says $10,000. That's right. That'll be a nice little payday for a day of fishing out there on the lake. Just grab a partner, come down there to Lake West Point, where it's going to be a very big event. There's going to be food. There's going to be media. There's going to be everything there. It's going to be all of that good stuff. It's going to be a real nice event. Something that you definitely don't want to miss. All right. So Saber Outdoor says, where is Lake West Point? Let me see if I can pull that. Okay. I still have it up. All right. Here we go. Lake West Point. Let's see if the address is on here for you. All right. So there it is. Pine Road Park, 4481 Roanoke Road, LaGrange, Georgia, 30240. So that is where we will be on April 27th. And someone will be walking away with a real nice check. And there's also a big fish payout too, guys. So that $250 for your 2-man team, it will include that big fish payout. And there was something else on here. Let me see if it's on this one. Okay, check this out right there at the top. Can you guys see that? What does that say? It says important. Polygraph test will be required. Oh, yeah. So who do you think is not going to be showing up that we try to keep away from our tournaments? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we run a good show, guys. So you definitely, if you're interested in, bringing home a $10,000 check, you might want to think about checking out this tournament. All right, so let's see, guys. Let's hop back into the chat and, see what else you guys have to say. All right, so Saber Outdoor says, okay, now I know. All right, let's see. Doug, what's going on, Doug? Says there's a new drone lure. It allows you to swim the bait right onto the fish's mouth. So the thing that's kind of funny about that, guys, is I think people are just realizing that this technology and these things are out there. So on the saltwater side, if you take a look, there are people that are actually using drones. They're looking and they're scouting around and they're finding the fish and they're dropping the lures down where the fish are at. There are people that are using little remote control boats, and they have a way to attach the lure to that. And they just run that lure all the way out to where the fish are at. They drop that lure, bring the boat back in, and they catch fish that way. So there's definitely a lot of different ways that people are already catching fish. And I think as people start learning about it, it's not new to the people that have been doing it for years, but the people just finding out about it. Some of it's like, wow, okay, I didn't know that was happening. But yeah, so they're already doing that. They're using drones. All right, so Saber Outdoor says, required when, before or after the turn. Okay, no. So basically, you polygraph the people that are in the tournament, especially the winner, especially whoever is going to be handed a $10,000 check. It's required to have a polygraph test. So that's basically what that means, and that is to deter the people that may show up and may think about doing some things that they shouldn't during a tournament, because that polygraph person will get you. They'll get you. You don't want that to happen. You don't want it to happen. All right, Joe Winkler says the hawk definitely won't be there. Oh man, come on, man. You can't talk about Chicken Hawk. Yeah, I have to check with him and see. I think Chicken Hawk is going to come to this one. So yeah, so I'll be out there with Chicken Hawk again, guys. I don't know. Maybe we'll fish together on this one again. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so CT says, Saber Outdoors, I'm sure after for winners. Yes, that is true. All right, so let me see. Saber says, let me see. Shark fishermen use boats to run their lures out into the ocean. Yep, that's where I saw that taking place. Brent says, do you study for the test. Yes, you should definitely study for a lie detector test. Do you know what you need to study? Who knows what you need to study for a lie detector test? Who knows? All right, let's see. Jacob Martin says, we have weights and fish. Not weights and fish. Oh my goodness. We have weights and fish. All right. So Brent says, do you study for the test? Yes, you need to study at how to be a decent person that does not cheat. You do not want to cheat during that day. Come in and take that lie detector test because your name will be everywhere. You will be famous. So yes, you do need to study for that test. Just study on being a good person. All right. So let's see. Joe Winkler says, are you going to video that tournament at West Point? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to video that one or not. You know, I'm going to be out there trying to win $10,000. We'll have to see. All right. CT says, I know, not being. That's a way to study for the test also. All right. Big Dog says, don't cheat, suckers. That's right. That is how you study for that test. All you have to do is just not cheat and you will pass that test. All right. So Brent says, cool. All right. Saber Outdoor says, famous, not in a good way. There you go. That is true. All right. I don't know what Jacob was trying to say right there. All right, guys. So we've had some fun with it. We've been rolling for about a little over an hour and a half. Had some, some good comments, great questions, had a great time chit-chatting with everybody. Make sure if you are looking for some sunglasses, consider checking out Solar Bat, especially if you are an Air Force person. We have the Air Force logo, kind of work things out for you guys. Had to work out some things with the military in order to get a product that has that logo on there. Just real quick, make sure you use code MoneyBass for 25% off when your order totals reach $100. You will receive a grab bag lure package with a value of $30. And that sale is going to run to the end of the month. But if you are an active or retired military, you will always get 30% off. Always use the code MoneyBass to make sure you get that free shipping too, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and head out. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. All right, wait a minute. Got to give one more shout out. Shout out to the Money Team. We have Joe Winkler checking in. Says, I do like Castledine does video and then just commentary. Okay, all right. Okay, for members only. There we go. Yeah, so I might have to do something for members only for that because, yeah, I mean, you guys come in here for a little fun and stuff like that for the live show. So I might have to do something for you. All right, guys, big shout out to the sponsor of the live stream. We have South Georgia Bassin checking in. So make sure you guys go and check out solarbat.com. Use code MoneyBass. Have some great deals going on for you guys. All right, I will see you guys on the next live stream.